One more time with a Wednesday Powershot. For those of you who don't know me, I am a certified financial planner. There are, well, at least at the last time that they updated the numbers from when I got them, it was like, I don't know, 2023, but the numbers were 2022. There were over 600,000 financial professionals in the country, and only 97,000 had gone through the process to become a certified financial planner. Less than 2% of that number were Black or African American individuals. So I'm very proud to be a part of that illustrious and elite group. They also call me the Moses of Finance because I believe that God has given me a mission to take his people on an exodus from financial bondage to the financial promised land by merging biblical financial principles with certified financial planning principles so that you can understand that financial planning is biblical. All right. So a lot of times during my talks, Bible definitely comes out, but the whole goal of doing these Wednesday lives is to just give you some insight into what you should be doing with some of your money. And the primary reason why I decided to do this was because I noticed that there were not a lot of credible people on social media that actually give good and or the right advice. And so that's kind of where I come in. Like, I've seen so many people on social media that end up saying that if you get a revocable trust, it will protect you from lawsuits. Couldn't be farther from the truth. So anyway, today I wanted to talk about retire richer, not later. Maximizing your 401k for financial freedom. Now, a 401k is an investment account that most people are familiar with, but not everybody has them. Some people have a 403b, some people have a 457, some people have a simple IRA, some people that are business owners use a SEP, SEP IRA, some people have a simple 401k, some people don't have anything. And so they're just using traditional IRAs, or they're using Roth IRAs, or maybe you're lucky and you're with one of those companies that is giving you a pension, because pensions are really a thing of the past. And so the 401k is one of those investment accounts that was created to kind of help people and force people to save. But now more than ever, especially because Social Security may not be there for those individuals that are in my generation, you have to put so much more emphasis towards your retirement planning. Now, even if you're one of those individuals that says, I'm never going to stop working, I'm going to always work. And that may be because I'm one of those individuals. I'm always going to work in my business because I built it. It's my baby. But I do want to have the opportunity to reduce how much time I'm working. So in my case, my plan is that the business, on top of what I'm saving, will be able to continue to provide me a level of income. But for some of you, that might not be the case. And so therefore, you may need to have a retirement account that you've built up that you can withdraw a certain portion of money to maintain your lifestyle. Another type of account that I forgot to mention is those of you that work for the government. You may have a TSP, right? So what are some of the main benefits of investing in these types of retirement accounts? The biggest one is compound interest. The easiest way to understand compound interest, if you think of like when you're at the mall, you got an escalator, right? You just stand there, you do nothing, but it takes you to another level. A lot of malls, you turn around and you hop on another one and it takes you to another level. When you're putting money into an investment account, that's literally what's happening to your money. Your money, without you doing anything, is just growing, and your job is just to keep adding more to it. So compound interest is a phenomenal tool. I have used in the past a scenario when it comes to time value of money. And that scenario usually is an individual who is 25 years of age, wants to retire at 65, is going to save $10,000 a year, get 10% a year on their money. Now, 10% a year and on average on your money is not impossible to get it is a little far-fetched, because, and the reason why I say that is because a lot of people will go on social media and say, oh yeah, you just get 10%, and that's how they use a lot of their scenarios. That's not really that realistic, because what happens is as you get older, you should be reducing the amount of risk that you're taking, because as you're getting older, you can't necessarily be so adventuresome, right? You don't want to take on a whole lot of risk. You want to maintain the principle of what you've saved. And so if you end up are in your late 50s or mid 50s rather, and your portfolio is, I use the terms going 100 miles per hour, meaning that all of your money is in stocks, and or going 80 miles per hour. That might be too much risk, because if we run into a 2022 or another pandemic crash, or a 2008, another great recession, and you end up and the stock market drops 50 to 60%, well, you're either going to drop by at least that much, if not more. And so you definitely want to have your portfolio managed, or if you're doing it yourself, put a little bit more safety in the portfolio as you get older, because you want to maintain some of the principal. So in this hypothetical scenario, my man, age 25, puts 10 grand away, is getting an average rate of return of 10%. Okay. And so when he does that, he saves for that 40-year period $400,000. He saves 400 grand. But because he got that compound interest, he was able to grow it. His escalator grew from 400,000 to $4.4 million. So compound interest plus time is absolutely magic. But for the Christian believer, when you have God on your side, you have somebody in your corner that can provide you with opportunities and or a creative idea that can exponentially grow your financial position. And so that's why one of the verses when it comes to time I love is 2 Peter 3:8, when it talks about a day is like 1,000 years with the Lord, 1,000 years is like a day. And so me being a numbers guy, I crunch the numbers to basically say, okay, well, if I'm going to do something, and it's going to take me, let's say, a year to do, based on those numbers, how long would it take God to do something that it would take me a year to do? And the numbers based on what's provided in scripture is 86.4 seconds. Let that simmer. 86.4 seconds based on the numbers that God gave. And Peter wrote the book, but it was Holy Spirit driven. So God wrote the book, right? It's just Peter's name's on it, but that's what he told Peter to write. And so what it takes us a year to do, it takes God 86.4 seconds. Now, if you even crunch the numbers a little bit further and go down to how long it takes us that it takes us a day to do, how long does it take God? 0.237 milliseconds. Snap your fingers and it's done. So never get so consumed at the fact that it takes you so long to, or not necessarily that it takes you so long, but that you're behind the eight ball, that you're in your 40s or you're in your 50s and you haven't really saved like you want to. I've seen some miraculous things happen in people's lives, and the ideas came to them like that, or an opportunity came to them or something. So compound interest is major. Next up is tax advantages. When it comes to the 401k, it's a tax advantage account, because when you're putting money in your 401k, you're getting a tax deduction. So let's just say you're making $100,000 a year. You put $10,000 into that account. The government is not going to tax you on 100,000. They're only going to tax you on 90. Does that make sense? Because you put 10,000 in. Now, investment accounts generally have umbrellas over them. So you'll have like a 401k umbrella, a traditional IRA umbrella, so to speak, a Roth IRA umbrella. And underneath the umbrella are your investments. And what do those umbrellas do is they stop taxes from getting to the growth of your money. When you take that umbrella away and you just have your investments, it's called an investment account or a brokerage account. So it's a non-retirement account. And as your money grows, you may be subject to taxes, capital gains, interest and dividends, all these different things, especially if you take money out. You're short and getting hit with short and long-term gains, right? So this is one of the main reasons why a 401k is so beneficial, because it allows you, number one, to reduce your taxable income, but it allows you to keep more money in your pocket today. Now, hopefully you're not going to be in a higher tax bracket tomorrow, like when you're ready to pull from the account, because you can't pull from the account until you're 59 and a half. But hopefully you're in a lower tax bracket. And if you don't think that you're going to be, then you need to work with a financial professional like myself that can get you there, so that you're not pulling that money out in a higher tax bracket, because some people are going to put their money in a say the 24% tax bracket, but because their income and their lifestyle has grown, they may take that money out in the 35% tax bracket. So then it didn't really make sense to put that much money into the to the 401k. You probably should have done like a Roth or something. The other big, huge benefit to the 401k is a company match. Whatever you put in, the company matches. Every company is different. Some companies don't do it at all. I know, like for me and my firm, we have a 401k. So anything that you put in, you get 4%. So you put in 4, you get 4. Some companies say you put in 6, you get 6. Some I've seen where you put in 6, you get 8. It just really depends on how that company operates. But when you are putting your money in, if you're putting in 4% and then they give you another 4%, you just doubled your money. That's 100% return on your money. You put in 4, they put in 4. You doubled. It's free money. You want to just take it and run with it, right? So that's another benefit. The other benefit is that the money is invested. So and the only way to get that compound interest is if you're investing. However, most 401k plans give you a blanket sheet of mutual funds that you can invest in. And so a lot of people will choose what's called target date funds. Now, target date funds aren't necessarily bad. Can you outperform a target date fund with the other mutual funds that's in there? Yes, you can. And how do I know? Because I've done it. I am doing it. But for people who don't necessarily want to have to worry about it, you just throw your money into a target date fund. Target date fund basically says, I plan on retiring in the year 2050. And so as you get closer to 2050, the fund gets more and more conservative. All right. But again, what you're giving up is the additional money that's being left on the table. Anytime Vanguard did this study, which I absolutely love because Vanguard is known as the do-it-yourself investment company. You don't really, now they have advisors, but at the time they put this article out, they didn't have advisors. But it has been proven that if you work with a financial advisor, it can increase your percentage rate by 3 points. So if you're making, say, 7% in your 401k, if you're working with an advisor, you might be making 10. And over time, that has a huge impact on your money. So the biggest thing that I want you guys to do today is take action on your finances. Don't sit idle. Don't just let your 401k be set it and forget it type of thing. Review it, look at it and see what's happening with it. See if you need to make your investments. But I'm also going to make a plug because my company, my practice has a technology that allows me to manage my clients' 401k, 403b, 457s, TSBs accounts for them. And so because of that, we're able to monitor the account on a daily basis, make adjustments as needed. So if you're in a target date fund, my recommendation is you probably should, hop out of it because you're leaving money on the table. When's the last time your 401k has been rebalanced, meaning that the portfolio has been adjusted to accommodate your risk tolerance? Maybe your 401k is with a company that does rebalance it, but maybe they rebalanced it too much. There is such a thing as that, and that could be eating away at your returns. Do you know how much your fees are inside of those mutual funds? Because even though you may not see the fee coming out, trust and believe that they are taking a fee out of your account. And so there are fees in there, there are funds in there that may be better performing and lower cost. And so we at my firm, we can assist you with that. So if you are interested in seeing how we might be able to help better manage your 401k, maybe than what you're doing or what your current company is doing, you can text the word DISCOVER, DISCOVER, text that word to this number, 510-726-0925. That is text the word DISCOVER, DISCOVER, to 510-726-0925. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Jervy. I am the Moses of Finance. I'll catch you down the road.